It is not true that everything that shines like a small star is actually a star. Nor is it true that everything that appears tiny in the sky is truly small. The illusion feels natural. A faint, compact red point, lost among thousands of distant galaxies, looks very much like something simple. Perhaps a small galaxy. Perhaps a cluster of young stars. Perhaps a source shrouded in dust. Intuition tells us that a tiny speck must contain very little. That a soft glow must come from something quiet. That an object resembling a star must, in some way, be a star. But the universe does not obey our mental sense of scale. Sometimes it places a monstrous engine inside a fragile appearance. Sometimes it hides a region of extreme gravity behind the reddish glow of an almost anonymous object. And this is precisely where the story becomes unstable. Some of these small red points do not behave like ordinary galaxies, do not shine like simple stars, and do not tell, in their spectra, the orderly story we would expect from a compact collection of luminous matter. The key is not the image. Images can deceive. A photograph of the deep sky reduces immense objects to grains of light, compresses unimaginable distances onto a flat surface, and transforms journeys lasting billions of years into a single colored point. The key lies in the spectrum, the way that light is broken down into its constituent parts. As light passes through gas, dust, gravitational fields, hot regions and cold regions, it carries with it unmistakable signatures. Every chemical element leaves its own fingerprint. Every physical environment distorts those fingerprints in a different way. A star speaks one language. A galaxy filled with stars speaks another. A black hole feeding on gas speaks differently still. And when a small red point displays dozens of spectral lines, too many, too rich, too laden with clues, we are no longer looking at a mere dot. We are looking at a hidden scene. One of the most intriguing members of this family is known as Glimpse 17775. The name is cold, almost bureaucratic, but the object it describes is anything but ordinary. It appears as a tiny red point in the deep sky, one of those signals that, at first glance, seems destined to disappear into the background noise of the data. Yet its light, analyzed with extraordinary precision, contains more than 40 spectral lines. Not a handful of vague hints. Not a single ambiguous signal. An entire chemical and physical narrative. It is as though an almost invisible object had left behind a written confession spread across dozens of lines, each slightly different, each capable of revealing something about the temperature, density, velocity and composition of the gas surrounding it. The result is unsettling because it suggests that we are not merely observing a compact galaxy, but a supermassive black hole wrapped in a cocoon of dense, hot gas. Here we encounter one of the most paradoxical expressions in modern astrophysics, the black hole star. This does not mean that an ordinary star contains a black hole at its center like a dark core. Nor does it mean that the black hole itself has somehow become a star. The contradiction is more subtle than that. Seen from the outside, such an object can mimic a gigantic star, red, swollen, diffuse. It can appear as a compact and luminous source with an apparent surface radiating light into space. Yet the energy that powers it does not come from nuclear fusion, as it does in the Sun. It comes from matter falling towards a black hole. The gas plunges inward, compressing, heating, accelerating, colliding and becoming ionized. Before disappearing beyond the event horizon, a vast portion of its gravitational energy is converted into radiation. The black hole itself emits no light, but the material dying around it can become blindingly bright. The crucial point is that, in this case, that light does not escape freely. It does not reach us as a clear beacon. It must pass through a dense envelope, a kind of compact cosmic fog thick enough to reshape the original signal. Radiation produced near the center is absorbed, scattered, transformed and re-emitted. The result is not the classic image of a naked quasar, brilliant, violent and unmistakable. It is something more concealed. A red ember instead of a white flame. A furnace glimpsed through many walls of gas. This is precisely what makes the object so difficult to classify. Viewed merely as a point of light, it seems small. Read through its spectrum, it becomes a laboratory of extreme physics. The spectral lines are where the disguise begins to fail. Hydrogen reveals the presence of ionized gas. Helium points to intense temperatures and energetic conditions. Oxygen and iron suggest complex processes that cannot be reconciled with a cold, passive cloud. Some lines appear broadened, as though the light had interacted with free electrons in an exceptionally dense environment. Others seem to indicate fluorescence, light absorbed and then re-emitted through specific transitions, much as happens when gas is struck by powerful radiation and returns that energy in a different form. This is not merely chemistry. It is hidden geometry. It is the way matter reveals the structure of the place it inhabits. Imagine a lamp enclosed within a room filled with smoke. From outside, we do not see the bulb itself. We see the illuminated smoke. If the smoke is thin, we can infer the source. If it is dense, the light loses its direction, changes color, spreads across the walls and seems to come from the entire volume. Now enlarge that image to cosmic proportions. At the center there is no light bulb, but a growing black hole. Around it there is no smoke, but intensely hot ionized gas. Outside there is no window, but billions of light-years of expanding space. What eventually reaches the telescope is light that has undergone a long process of transformation. It is not the naked voice of the black hole. It is an echo reworked by its cocoon. This possibility matters because it touches one of the great questions of modern astrophysics. How did supermassive black holes become so large so early? At the hearts of many galaxies lie black holes whose masses are millions or even billions of times greater than that of the Sun. Some of these objects are observed when the universe was still very young. Too young, at least according to the slow and orderly growth scenarios, for small black holes born from the deaths of the first stars to have quietly grown into colossal giants. To reach enormous masses in such a short time, a shortcut is required. A large seed from the beginning. A period of extraordinarily rapid growth. Or both. And these small red points may be the traces of that hidden phase. The paradox is that the most intense growth may also have been the least visible. A young black hole immersed in vast quantities of gas can consume matter while simultaneously being concealed by the very material that feeds it. Its fuel becomes its disguise. Gas falls toward the center and releases energy, yet that same gas traps and reprocesses the energy it produces. From a great distance, we do not see the mechanism at work. What we see is a compact, glowing, red envelope. It is an embryonic and violent phase, but not necessarily dramatic in the way we might expect. Nature does not always announce the birth of its giants with spectacular explosions. Sometimes it builds them inside sealed chambers, where the light is filtered before it escapes. This detail also changes the meaning of the color red. In the deep sky, red is never simply red. It may indicate distance, because the expansion of the universe stretches light toward longer wavelengths. It may indicate dust, because dust absorbs blue light more efficiently and allows red light to pass through. It may indicate apparent temperature, if what we are seeing is a surface or envelope radiating like a warm body, though not as intensely hot as a blue star. In these small red points, all of these effects can overlap. The color becomes a mask made of other masks. That is why it is not enough to say, it is red, therefore it is dusty, or, it is red, therefore it is distant. Red is the question, not the answer. The James Webb Space Telescope entered this story because it observes the universe through infrared eyes. Much of the light emitted by distant objects has been stretched by cosmic expansion until it becomes invisible to instruments that observe primarily invisible wavelengths. Webb was designed to capture precisely that stretched, cooled light shifted into the infrared. Yet its strength lies not only in seeing farther. It lies in distinguishing, in separating light into a spectrum, in transforming a point of light into a diagnosis. When an object like glimpse 17775 reveals more than 40 spectral lines, Webb is not merely photographing the ancient universe. It is performing an autopsy on light. It is asking every photon where it came from, what it passed through, what matter touched it, and what physical field altered it. The answers appear to point toward an extreme environment, one in which the black hole is not yet the visible ruler of a mature galaxy but something closer to a hidden heart. A heart pumping energy into a body of gas. A heart that never reveals itself directly, yet transforms everything around it. If this interpretation is correct, then some of the most enigmatic sources observed in the deep sky may represent a brief but fundamental stage in the life of supermassive black holes. The moment when the monster grows behind a curtain, before winds, radiation and instabilities sweep away part of the surrounding gas and reveal it as a more familiar active galactic nucleus. What makes this so fascinating is that the universe never presents its answers neatly. There is no label attached to every point of light. There is no sharp boundary separating a compact galaxy, an extreme star, an obscured active nucleus and a black hole star. There are gray areas, and it is precisely within those gray areas that discoveries are born. These small red points are unsettling because they seem to inhabit such an intermediate realm. Their apparent sizes are small. Their colors are unusual. Their luminosities are difficult to reconcile with ordinary stellar populations. Some appear too dense, too efficient, too mature for the epoch in which we observe them. It is like discovering the foundations of a city in land that has only just formed, a city that should never have had enough time to exist. To explain these objects, scientists must balance several competing hypotheses. One possibility is that they are extraordinarily compact galaxies packed with newly forming stars, reddened by dust or distance. Another is that they are active galactic nuclei, that is, black holes accreting matter at the centers of young galaxies. A third possibility is that some of them truly are black hole stars, objects dominated by a black hole enclosed within a shell of gas so dense that it profoundly reshapes the escaping light. The importance of glimpse 17775 lies in the fact that its spectrum allows all of these possibilities to be tested against a wealth of evidence at the same time. It is no longer enough to imagine a plausible shape. Every spectral line, every width, every intensity ratio and every indication of density must fit together. At this point, science begins to resemble an investigation. A single clue can be misleading. One spectral line may admit several interpretations. A color may have multiple causes. But when many clues point in the same direction, the range of explanations narrows. If the gas is too dense for an ordinary star-forming region, if the radiation appears too energetic to be produced by common stars, if certain lines require a compact ionized environment, and if the light seems to have been reprocessed rather than emitted directly, then suspicion grows. We are not looking at a star. We are not looking at just any galaxy. We may instead be looking at the luminous garment of a black hole in the process of building itself. The word garment is not accidental. A black hole has no surface to display. It possesses no solid boundary capable of reflecting light. The event horizon is a mathematical and physical frontier, not a luminous skin. What we can observe is always what lies outside it. The accretion disk, the gas, the dust, the jets, the illuminated clouds and the nearby stars disturbed by gravity. In a black hole star, the outer layers become so thick and so important that they create the appearance of the entire object. The cocoon is not a secondary detail. It is what makes the black hole visible and invisible at the same time. Visible because it transforms the black hole's energy into light. Invisible because it prevents us from seeing the central engine directly. This is one of the most counterintuitive ideas in astronomy. An object can be revealed by the very thing that hides it. Dust that obscures a star can betray its presence by heating up. Gas that conceals a black hole can reveal it through unusual spectral lines. The absence of a direct view is not an absence of information. Sometimes it is richer information, because it forces light to interact with the surrounding environment. A naked black hole might appear as a relatively straightforward energetic source. A buried black hole, by contrast, imprints its presence onto every layer around it. It is a cosmic photographic negative. We do not see the figure itself, but we see every distortion it creates in the world surrounding it. And what if this phase were common? The question is enormous. If many young galaxies passed through a stage in which their central black hole was hidden inside a dense cocoon, then we may have underestimated the number of growing black holes in the early universe. We may have looked into the deep sky and classified certain objects as small red galaxies, when in reality we were observing dark nuclei in a phase of intense feeding. This does not mean that every small red point is a hidden black hole. That would be the opposite simplification. and science is wary of simplifications that are too convenient. But it does mean that the sky may contain more disguises than we once thought. And every disguise, once deciphered, reveals a phase of cosmic formation that had previously remained beyond our sight. What is at stake here is not only the story of black holes. It is also the story of galaxies. A supermassive black hole does not grow in isolation, suspended in the void. It lives at the center of a larger structure, immersed in gas, stars, dust and dark matter. Its growth can influence the galaxy that hosts it. The radiation and winds produced by accretion can heat the gas, drive it away, compress certain regions and prevent others from forming stars. In a young galaxy, this relationship can be decisive. The black hole is not merely a passenger. It can become one of the forces that regulates a galaxy's fate. If it grows early and rapidly, it can alter the environment while the galaxy itself is still forming. It is as though the dark seed and the stellar city were growing together, shaping one another, without it always being clear which one is guiding the other. Glimpse 17775 matters because it seems to capture one of these interactions in compressed form. On one side, a compact red source. On the other, an extraordinarily rich spectrum. At the center, the possibility of a growing black hole hidden by dense gas. This tension between simple appearance and complex structure is what gives the object its narrative power. The sky offers us a point. Physics gives us back a system. The eye sees little. The light says too much. And when an object says too much for its apparent form, we know we are looking at something that does not fit into our immediate categories. In the end, the deeper message is not simply that we have found a strange object. It is that the young universe may have been far more opaque, faster and more hidden than we imagined. Its giants were not always born under clear spotlights. Some may have grown inside red cocoons, behind layers of gas that made them resemble impossible stars. Webb has not merely looked farther. It has listened more closely to the light. And in that light, it has found the suspicion of a dark heart buried inside a compact glow. A red point, fragile in appearance, may be the signal of a supermassive black hole in the act of being built. Not an ending, but a hidden beginning. Not a void, but a masked furnace. Not a star, but something that uses light to conceal the darkness from which it is born. If you have made it this far, it means you love curiosity as much as we do. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a like, write a comment and subscribe to the channel. It is the best way to support what we do. Your presence truly makes a difference. Until our next exploration.